Welcoming you back to Crypto's Juiciest News. Here we go. December. Leading up into Christmas, we have crypto doing a pooperoonies all over again. But we expected it, friends. It's still Year of the Snake. Hissing like a snake everywhere. The relief rally, dead cat bounce. I mean, if we're realistically to go through the numbers, Bitcoin hit like 93 and we're just like, we're in the first week of December. So we're kind of speculating through astrology means and literally nothing else because we don't know what the hell's coming next. But, for Bitcoin to go to 95 to 105 by the next 4 to 6 weeks and then have another scare from the Year of the Snake, I mean, it's all in line, isn't it? We're going to be speaking about BTC over the past year. Friends, it's been exactly 12 months since we hit 100K for the first time. We've also got some President Trump talk. We're going to hear from the new US Fed chairman replacement possibility, Kevin Hassett, what he has to say about the US Fed. Should they cut rates? He's a dove. Chomley, did he buy more Ethereum? Did he say that the bottom is in? Yes and yes. Stablecoin super cycle, tokenization super cycle. All of that coming your way and more. First thing we're going to do, friends, we're going to start with that racist Russell. And I normally start with the Bitcoin monthly chart, but the racist Russell, friends, he must be given full attention, okay? This is the weekly chart. Let's actually put on the daily. The racist Russell 2000 has done extraordinarily powerful things, surprising everyone, okay? Racist Russell coming down after faking out 15,000 times. I once again, for everyone new, just so you know, okay, so not just markets, but, like you could track diseases, you could track the growth, you could track the death of plants, animals, humans. There's Fibonacci retracements everywhere, right? Like even when people's health is failing, basically there's a crash down. You could measure some of their levels, their vitamin levels, crashes down, and then it comes back to like a Fibonacci retracement. Yeah, it's really wild. We've even tracked, maybe I'll make a video on it later, Uber drivers. The price of New York City, the taxis, they used to be 1.1 million. When Uber comes in firstly, it drops. It has a big crash, 50%. But when it comes back up, it comes exactly back to around the 61.8 to 78.6 fib retracement. It comes back to there and then it craters again. It's funny. So if you look at it, they all look like this. Everything comes up before everything crashed, boom, right? And then if you actually draw a fib, let's say that is the bottom, everything in this world, it comes back to the retracement, friends. It comes back to the retracement around here. This is the critical zone, all right? Now, especially in markets, this is the critical zone, all right? So most of the time, if it's going down, just comes down. However, if you can do this, whoa. I mean, that's how the S&P 500, that's how the stock market starts to go up. All right, it always comes back to those battling areas of the Fibonacci and then it pops up. Well, look at the magic of the racist Russell 2000. Okay, check it out here. What it was able to do, it comes out, smacks it up here. See this? Exactly. Look where it starts stalling out, right at the fib level. And look what it just did, pop. It just started popping up. Now, of course, this is not the be-all and end-all of everything, right? Because a lot of them are subjective. It's kind of like art. Like if you draw a brown shoe, how would you describe the brown? Is it poopy brown or is it chair brown? Wooden chair brown or poopy brown? It's very subjective out here. But when it comes to markets, this is a step in the right direction. And what I love is there is zero coverage from 40 crypto influencers. Zero about that. Literally zero. And you want to know what's funny? When we were going down before, they were saying, oh yeah, even the racist Russell 2000, that stupid indicator, your friend Somi uses that stupid thing that they use, even that was down here, but now it's up and they stopped talking about it. It is interesting. What I'm going to do is now show you the monthly chart of BTC, friends. We are here on the monthly. Bitcoin, still respecting that channel of friendship, but here we are now. I know a lot of you, this is what happens, friends. When you have like big drops like this, okay, it is a big drop. I mean, look, it even happened in the Trump tariff, right? 24% drop here. This was huge, 27% drop. Yeah, the next candle is like a skitsy, chill out, do nothing candle, kind of chill out, right? Dead cat bounce, relief rally. That's what they basically refer it to. I mean, even before it was going to go on an up-only run in August of 2023, This was like, I mean, look at this. It dropped 18%, but there's still always that little candle that does nothing. So that might be Dikembe, what they call the relief, you know, dead cat bounce. And so there's no conclusion for it yet. We just obviously need more time, as always. This is Bitcoin on the weekly chart. Here we are, still respecting the channel friendship. Just to remind you as well, when we had Trump's tariff tantrum, so this is something also to look at as well, friends. In markets, especially in Bitcoin. Bitcoin, within its cycle, it does fractals of itself. Okay, so how it's behaving in the cycle, it continues to do that. And like, it's basically, it's esoteric. So you really got to be here like 18 hours a day. And it's really descriptive. It's not like you can make money on it, right? Because there's confirmation bias everywhere. But if you notice Bitcoin back in 2023, when it goes up, it stays in a channel, right? Look at this. It stays in a channel and then it finally goes up. But everybody thinks it's over right at the end of the channel. That's something I'm just telling you, right? That it's like, hey, we stay in a channel. You see, you don't know it's going to be a channel. But yeah, at the end of the channel, everyone really thinks it's over. And we all thought it was definitely over here, okay? If you move up, in 2024, I made 1,000 videos in this moment. Literally 1,000 videos. 1,000 YouTube videos. Bitcoin stayed. Now, I know it's going to look like a wonky channel, but it stayed in a channel. All right? Everyone, we all thought it was over right at the very end, didn't we? It's wild, man. That's just it's the fractals. By the way, in the previous cycles, it was different, okay? Which I'll show you, okay? But let's continue with this one, okay? This is the theme. I guess the theme is it goes somewhere, stays in a channel. Everyone thinks it's over at the very, very, very end of the channel, and then it actually starts to go up. Just somehow just starts to move up, all right? Even though it doesn't feel like it. If we go to the Trump tariff tantrum, now I'm just inventing channels. I'm just making stuff up, okay? Because before the Trump tariff tantrum, this is how you might have drawn it, right? Like this, okay? But then I've actually redrawn it. Right. So, but yeah, you could have, let's say you don't know what comes next, right? So you just have the Trump tariff tantrum. Maybe you're looking like that. Or maybe even looking at like, oh, wow, there's some sort of channel here thing and channel here thing. Maybe that's what they would have been, right? So they are subjective. You're just drawing squiggly lines. But if you're looking at the theme, it really is interesting, right? We come up here, everyone thinks it's over, Trump tariff tantrum. But now here we go, here we are again. Everyone like really, really, really thinks it's over. I guess you'd call this the 4-year cycle FUD, Minsky removal index FUD. The bear market confirmed, right? So it would be funny if we somehow just battle on through and we go up, and then I will go back, you know, next year and I'm like, hey, see, there's the theme. We always we end up in these channels. Everyone thinks it's really, 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 really over right at the bottom of the channel when it's actually time to go up. So I don't know if that's going to be the same thing. Okay, now you probably say, but Somi, let's go look at the last cycle. How did the last cycle play out? Well, let me tell you something, friends. This is the theme of the last cycle was, okay, you go up only without stopping, and then you have a black swan drop. Okay, that was actually how the top of the cycle happened. So we go up only, right? You don't stop. See, there's no stopping of Bitcoin here whatsoever. There's no channels. It just goes up and up and up and up and up and up and up. But nobody was paying attention because we all thought Bitcoin was going to 180K back then, right? Based off all the multiples and the ratios, okay? But then look what ends up happening. China bans Bitcoin, black swan. This is China banning Bitcoin. Yeah. Interesting, yeah. So that's actually, it's funny, right? Well, not funny, but this is what markets do. They fractal within themselves, right? In 2017, that was what Bitcoin did. Goes up, and 21 EMA, 21 EMA, 21 EMA, 21. It just keeps fractaling all over the 21 EMA, all the way up until euphoria. Okay. So I'm wondering if, you know, maybe that's how the story ends up playing out, where we end up coming out here, everyone thinks it's over. I'm hoping. Okay, it's all hope. And look, we're totally prepared. Bitcoin could go down to like 35, 45, 55K. It can do that. So it's not outside the possibilities. But if we're looking forward, and it does do something like that, and it pops on through, oh yeah, that's going to be juicy, right? And you never know, fans. That's why you just never know what's going to be going through the crowd's mind when you hit certain areas, you know? Like, I know you're all thinking, oh, I promise I'll take profit. I promise I'll take profit. Yeah, but you're saying that now. You got to understand, when everyone finally joins in here, and they say, hey, we did have a bear market. That was a bear market. They'll say that. They'll probably say that. Yeah. They'll probably say, like, let's say, friends, Bitcoin is still struggling even next year, like May, June, July, and then we actually start to go up. Maybe, look, let's say that happens. And then everyone says, oh my gosh, that's going to be such a popular narrative to say, oh, we actually just had a bear market. Now we go up only for 3 years. You know, I know it sounds silly to you right now, but because you're along with me, yeah, you are not sidelined who definitely will have to buy back later, buy up through new highs because they will want to subscribe to that. They go, oh yeah, remember that bear market we just had, you know? That's why, friends, I've lit, look, a lot of people are saying, you know, bear market, but I've written here, bear market confirmed it's just a joke. It's an ode. So we know if we go up from here, don't let anybody fool us that it was a bear market, okay? Because I know it sounds wild, friends. The COPE narrative here is 5-year cycle. But, friends, look, you understand, right? If we go up here, absolutely, friends, if you say 5-year cycle and this thing is going up here, that will be FUD. Because you're implying that we didn't just have a bear market. You're implying that, oh, no, we've been gone for a long time. No, we haven't. I just got in, okay? So all I'm just trying to do is just see where we are, friends. Sometimes you can poke around, okay, very family-friendly way type of poking. You can poke around and just see where the weak points are. And look, I'll be completely honest, friends. I was here in 2022. We all got destroyed. The thought of Bitcoin going to 20K was literally kryptonite. No, it can't. It'll break structure. Something's really wrong. Yeah, but no one's saying that about stuff now. Everyone's saying, yeah, 55, 45, you know. They're like, everyone's friends. Everyone goes to the 2022 example with the 200-week moving average. And they go, oh, yeah, so Bitcoin went 30% below its 200-week moving average. So if Bitcoin went 30% below 55K, you're getting down to 35,000. And they're just saying that off the cuff. You know, and I hear that. And like I'm telling you, like back in 2022, when we would hear the number 20K, like, no, it can't happen. No, it can't. Now we're like, yeah, whatever. Why? Because we're strong hands. There's no retailing. Okay, there's no retailing who got super aggressive, who had all this fun. There's none of that, you know? So that's what we've done. We've done some very family-friendly poking around, if you will. Right? This is the Bitcoin 4-hour price action chart. Okay, and we're moving into the gay bear zone, friend. In the gay bear zone, there's a lot of, like, you know, people throwing around their speedos, glitter on the face, skipping leg day, painting their fingernails and stuff. A lot of dudes wearing tutus, and you know what I mean. Like this is going to be the vibe over there, right? In the gay bear zone, you're going to see pretty much everyone and their dog's going to be short, and they're getting down. I mean, Taiki Mate is already short, for example. So yes, we have to get through that zone, and then we just, you know, once again, it's wait and see all over again. And it does make it very hard because I know what you're feeding. Oh, that doesn't make it hard. That's what she said, right? So you're seeing it's tough, right? Price action rules, or does it? You know, it's not so easy all the time because price action's gone down, but all the fundamentals and the news is great. What's going on? Well, that's why, friends, like this is where it's man, we're towing a thin line here, right? Because when there's no liquidity, it's like a starving village. Okay, so a starving village, friends, like literally, if you cut off the food supply to a village, you know, let's say there's people, they're literally running out of food. They're gonna start stealing from each other and cannibalizing each other. They don't care about whether you got the latest coconut bra for your wife. Like, oh, you got a nice pointy coconut bra and we got like the rounded ones and you made one. So they don't really care. You don't care about that thing anymore because you're just thinking about the food. Well, when liquidity's down in the world, like Main Street has been suffering for 37 months, it's the same thing. Everyone's just seeing red. They can't think. None of us can think. Everyone has like they're focused on liquidity, which is basically your savings. See what I mean? So that's what happens, right? Especially in this. When you're dealing with ETFs, institutions, and it's like stock market, it's easier for the market to stay around fair value because you have a constant DCA Ponzi bid coming in. So you got to think about it like this. Let's say there's an average worker, Walmart worker. Let's say from their 401k contribution, they're putting in like $400 a month into the stock market. I'll just give you an example. Let's say it's $400 a month coming in a DCA. But in crypto, right, because that $400 a month buying, they're forced to buy. Yeah, so every month it's just forced to buy. And it's total $60 billion. But in crypto, we don't have that because we're so early, you know. In crypto, what happens is when prices are down, in fact, you know that guy's $400, let's say he bought $400 last month. Okay, now he'll sell it for $80 this month. He'll actually take the loss, okay? And then he does nothing and nothing and nothing and nothing. 3 years later, things are going up. If he was DCA Ponzi forcefully buying, he'd be $400 a month. But what happens is people save their money. Now he doesn't have $400. Now he's got like 6,000, right? And he throws it all in at the top. That's crypto. That's our emotional cycle. And guess what? When he's doing it, there's literally, 50 other million people doing the same thing as well. So they should be doing like 1/10 of their clip size, but because they've waited so long, they're like, no, I got $6,000, let's throw it in. I might make it quick 2 or 3x. But we did not see that yet, okay? Because the Black Swan PMI has been 37 months under 50 here. Okay, it's actually been 38 months under 52, but it doesn't really matter the semantics here. It's just been overall, it's literally Great Depression territory. The ETH BTC ratio is still very interesting, friends. This is ETH BTC, Ethereum's ratio to Bitcoin. It's still hovering around green weekly super trend. It's just wild, man. It really does look like this is when, when they stopped QT, they stopped it here as well, right? And it isn't wild. Ethereum is doing the same thing, hopefully, as when they stopped QT, right? I've been also listening to Lynn Alden and a few others about their commentary and what they expect for the Fed, and it's exactly what I was expecting. So the crowd wants 0% rates, infinite QE. Not getting that. Most likely what we're going to get is, like Lynn Alden, they use a joke, instead of the big money print, it's going to be the gradual money print. Okay, that's what most likely we're going to be seeing. A gradual money print is they will start the balance sheet expansion slowly, because they don't want to stoke inflation, right? That's what it's going to be. Now, the thing is, though, a lot of people are always skeptical because it always ends with some sort of disaster somewhere, and they do have to do the big money print. But, we'll see. We'll see how retail goes and plays out. But structurally, interest rates being at 0%, probably not going to get that. That's why it's hard for, a lot of these people, they can't think about buying risk when rates are 4%. Even 3, you know what I mean? These people, they want to see 2. They want to see the Fed say, now is the time to buy QE. That's why, it could set us up for a massive giant trap at the end. Well, you never know where everything's up, something cracks, they print, and then you have a failed high, which might make it even tougher. That's why I imagine if things are going to come back, friends, it might be the mother of all traps. So I'll just give you an example where they actually are printing money and crypto's still high. Yeah, but we see euphoria. And so everyone's like, no, but liquidity, but this, but that. And then, we have to take an honest look and go, hey, man, crypto's already moved up. Maybe the liquidity is going to fail. Maybe they have to do more money printing later on. I'm just saying is if this thing does extend, if it doesn't extend, and let's say it really is a bear market, then whatever. We'll just roll on, Check this out as well, friends. So exactly 1 year ago, Bitcoin touched 100K for the first time. The first year of Trump has been horrible for most people. It is very true. A lot of people are saying, bear market, shallow bear market, etc. I think, friends, if we look at PulseChain community, yeah, PulseChain's doing a ticky up. It feels like PulseChain, we had an anger phase, right? There's just been anger, a lot of anger for Richard Hart and stuff. I've seen a lot of CryFags on Twitter coming out with these giant essays, and I just want to make something clear, friends. I don't give a shit that you can complain about Richard all day. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm saving my breath because I can't influence anything. I can't do anything. I can't make the price go up. You can't either. Keep whinging and crying. Dude, just click sell and leave. Do us all a favor and do yourself a favor. Just click sell, go rotate to something else, right? There's nothing we can do to change it. There's nothing he can do to change it. It's kind of funny. This is also something for you to know. What I've noticed is most of the anger, actually, I'm not joking, 100% of the anger has come from core coin maxis. So core coin maxis. People who are like, say, EHEX, who respect PDI as literal garbage, and PWBTC and Dick with Butt Core Coin and Poker Center and everything else out here, usually towards that end, everyone's just accepted it because they're like, oh yeah, this is just part of the game. So I think, and this is what's also interesting, if you actually listen to what people say, they're just like, we want to be treated with respect. We want to be treated with respect. It doesn't do anything, man. Let me draw you a little cute scenario here. Okay, in scenario A, okay, and scenario B. In scenario A, Richard is kind and nice, and he says, you're a good person. We're going to pump 100,000x. Everything's going to be great. You're a nice. I apologize to you, crowd. Okay, that's... In B, he just says, whatever, work harder, okay? Thing is, friends, guess what? In both scenarios, you're still poor and everything's down 99%. It's the truth, man. Literally, like, save your breath. I think I accepted this like a year and a half, 2 years ago. So I find it, interesting. Look, friends, I get it, man. I get it. Like, and also, let me tell you something as well. If PulseChain does one green monthly candle, right, and it goes up like here, all the apologies are coming back. Okay, all the apologies. It's happened before, man. It happens every single time. Okay, so yeah, he doesn't control ETH price, doesn't control business cycle. None of them do, friends. And I've told you thousands. This is funny. That's why, friends, I don't speak to. When you are soy boy scum, just crying and making excuses, you can't take responsibility for yourself. We don't bother replying to you because you don't listen. You don't listen. We've told you 15,000 times. Go and join other altcoin communities. I own them. It's the same shit. Okay, let me show you, friends. You know Phantom with Andre Cronje, the father of DeFi? Phantom BTC ratio is down 98.8%. Rounded to 99. Phantom with Andre Cronje. Phantom. 99%. It's down 97% against USD. Okay. Friends, what about Matic? Matic has literally Polymarket. Polymarket was, friends, Polymarket was the world's #1 most visited website in 2024. Do you know that? Because of the US election odds, and they're still growing. How's Polygon, the chain that they run on, doing? You're down 95%. That's Matic USD. Matic BTC, it's down 97%. Okay, I'll go on and on. Corridanzo. Friends, XRP, you go, oh, XRP is amazing. Is it amazing, bro? XRP is still down. Let's check it out. From 2017, you are still down 90%. Congratulations. You've waited 8.5 years. I'm not trying to, like, pick on anything. I'm just telling you, it's dog shit everywhere, bro. What about ETH BTC? Ethereum, you are down 80%. That's Ethereum. Well done. Well done. Ethereum, the best in the game. You're down 80% after 8.5 years. Okay. So I'm not saying, oh, everything's down, feel okay. I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling you, I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, everything's dog shit. I'm just seeing cheap prices. Yeah. You can't control, like, if you think your thing's worth $1, but it's trading at 10 cents now, and then someone sells it down to 2 cents. I know it feels bad, but you're looking at everybody else who's still worth 10 cents, and you think like, oh, something's amazing with them. No, they're not. Everything's cheap. Okay. We know PulseChain has like super low liquidity. $100,000 sell pressure of PulseChain drags it down to 5.8%. That's how thin the liquidity is. It's by design, man. So look, if you want to keep crying and just wasting your time, keep doing that. Like, just not, like, we've already answered all this stuff here. You can click sell and leave. I'm just telling you, I still think everything's cheap. I'm not concerned whatsoever. I want to see Coinbase App Store rank 1 and everything else. President Trump has unveiled a new AI platform, Truth AI. Ah, man. So it's basically just grifting everything. I'll never get it. Let's play some Pumpy G music. We need it. Truth AI. I don't understand. I don't know what's going to do. Truth. You want the truth. It was the Democrats who did everything bad to you. Yeah, man. It's funny. Yeah, Main Street must eat. Main Street is struggling. Main Street is struggling. Hey, it's funny, friends. Yeah, if stocks weren't through the all-time high, you'd call it a depression. Yeah, it's just that the S&P AI stocks have carried everything. White House advisor and US Fed chairman replacement frontrunner Kevin Hassett says it's time for the Federal Reserve to cautiously start cutting rates. Boom. You got to listen to that. Why does he say that? Because Donald Dump said to Major Loser Powell, and he said in interviews, he's like, I don't get it. Why don't you just start cutting rates? And he said this like a year ago, I think, or 9 months ago. He goes, why don't you just start cutting the rates slowly? And if inflation goes up, just put them back up. Why don't you just do that? He refuses to do that. Okay. So Kevin Hassett, obviously, Trump is going to choose the person who's going to do the policy he wants. That's politician stuff, right? So cautiously start cutting rates. That's what it means. He goes, hey, cut rates. Does it stoke inflation? Nope. Okay, cut it again. Stoke inflation? No. And it's basically walk it down, walk it down. That's what he's suggesting to do, which I guess is great. We have the FOMC, friends, in about 4 days from now. The FOMC, 4 days and 22 hours, 87% chance of a rate cut. It's pretty much they're going to be walking it down. Let's actually check it right now. So the rates are going to be 3.75% by December. If we go to January, there's only a 25% chance. Wow. There's only a 25% chance of a cut in January. Because they're gonna they really do believe his words. Wow. Hey man, I think the market's whoa. Interesting. The market's mispricing the stimulus. Well, it's not mispricing, I don't know the future. It hasn't even priced in cuts. That's cool, man. Friends, I was scared. I thought the yield curve had priced in like 4 or 5 cuts for next year. Nope. It's only got 1. That's really good, man. So it's actually, the market actually has not priced in rate cut. That's funny. This is a super rare, unique moment in time. It's because Main Street, everything's so destroyed and everybody really believes major loser power. They really believe. I guess and the market maybe doesn't trust the inflation or anything out here. But, you know, you could go either way. That's why some people are saying Kevin Hassett's going to rug everyone. That's what some people believe. But I don't know, man. Like, it's interesting. So look at this. Look at this. So the market's already basically priced in no cuts. So if we only get 1 cut and major losers CUNT about it, okay, it's priced in. Yeah. The issue will be if they actually start hinting about more cuts. You know, friends, on the Fed FOMC, they're going to have these projections. So the projections is like where you think rates are going to be the next average in the 1 or 2 years, right? So, yeah, it'll be very interesting. Indiana lawmakers have proposed allowing public investment funds in the state to purchase Bitcoin ETFs. Very cool. Public investments. I guess, friends, like we keep moving up the level of wet dreams, right? The level of wet dreams, we got the Bitcoin spot ETF, but now it's here. You're like, oh yeah, but that was last year. What's in it for me? I know. The next wet dream would be if states require their 401k pension funds, you know, when they do like a 60-40 thing where they have to include Bitcoin in it. Oh yeah. That means we become actually stonk market over time. Everyone's DCA buying it over time forcefully. Yeah, that's huge. That's going to be controversial because Bitcoin's only been around 15 years. And so you're asking people to commit the next 30 years to something that's only been around 15 years. But if we can get that, it's big wet dream. And then what would be like cataclysmic, euphoric, end of the world, Joe Rogan levels of DMT, mind explosion, wet dream, that would be the US Fed saying, we're going to print money and buy some Bitcoin. You literally can't beat that at all. You can't beat that at all for that cycle, you know. So that would be, yes, the levels of build-up. See, friends, what I'm doing is, I'm see all these dreams we have, they're not even close. Do you know what I mean? They're not even close. It's not even within reach. Like, we're not even talking about it. Everyone's saying, oh, it's over. You know? The time to worry is when we're like starting to get one of the dreams through, you know? Charmley thinks crypto prices are bottomed and the Bitcoin 4-year cycle will be shattered in the next 8 weeks. Man, that's an aggressive, very aggressive 8 weeks, you know?
Number 2, I think crypto prices have bottomed. And I think that in the next 8 weeks, we're going to shatter the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. I don't think it's going to be a 4-year.
Let me tell you something, friends. Let me tell you something. Let me get a nipple peg out. Actually, let me get 2 nipple pegs out for this, okay? Okay? Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this. Charmley, that clip was posted on WatcherGuru on their Telegram. And thank you. There was a baby doll, Mr. T, in my Telegrams, alerted me to something. When they posted this Tom Lee picture, that video clip, if you look at the emoji reactions of the crowd, okay, they were all mocking laughing face and poop emoji. Yeah, there was like 587 mocking face and 108 poop emojis. And only like, 100 love hearts or something. Wild. Yeah, that's showing you WatcherGuru and the crowd of non-believer Jeet scum there who skip leg day and have rounded elbows, right, who sit on non-squeaky chairs. That crowd, short, sold, sidelined, disbelief. It's disbelief. Like with the video, he says, I think crypto's bottom, that we're going up. They're like, nah, stupid. It's very interesting. Friends, this is why it's funny. You literally have, I've literally given you, friends, it's literally, he's combined that. So the poop emojis, there's 600 people versus 100. Like I just see time and time again, just showing you that, dude, the crowd sideline, dude, the crowd thinks it's over. It's in disbelief. They're all following the crypto KOLs. Okay. And then you watch one KOL and they're like, ha. I found one angry guy who unsubscribed to me because I said things are going down. When I'm totally oblivious to the fact that maybe he's angry, it's because I yelled that things were definitely going up for a year. So, you know, as you get to see, friends, most people with an audience, they charm the audience, man. They're there to farm the audience, not to get the audience rich, not to make the right decisions. It's to charm them. They have a talent of amassing confidence and an aura, okay? Charmly bought $130 million more of Ethereum. So, friends, he holds now 3.6 million ETH. Right? 3.6 million out of 120 million. It's about 3.2% or something. You got to remember, friends, I know, like, you know, PulseChain's down. Dude, Tom Lee bought 3.6 million ETH. He bought 3.2% of your supply, and he's still offside. He's offside. He's literally offside. His average price is $4,000 now. He's cucked. Right? It's Tom Lee, bro. Tom Lee, he went and bought 3.6 million ETH and shielded it to Wall Street every single day on CNBC. Still down. Still down. I'm telling you, okay, the business cycle's more powerful than anything else. Coinbase CEO Brian Boldstrong says tokenization is going to reinvent finance. Everything that can be tokenized will be, and it's much better for the end user. Tokenization is huge, friends. Not just stablecoins, but, you know, unlocking future and indexes and different types of trading and stuff. It's going to be great. Now, you and I want to know where to from here, please. Where to now, Western man? This is the channel of friendship. And the line is where Year of the Snake will officially end. We still have quite a bit of time left. But let's talk about the scenarios anyway. So, friends, for 2026, okay, if 2026 is garbage, well, all right, it's been garbage for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, oh, whatever. Okay, whatever. But if it's good, they all have to buy back in. And there you go, we've done our scenarios. We've done our scenarios, if it's good. Okay, so I continue to hold. Even if things start to look trash and bad, I'm still holding, man. I'm still holding. I don't want to mess this up, man. In my mind, I see things that should be $1, then they're at 10 cents. Then they're at 5. Now they're at 3. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not selling at 3 because I think it's going to go to 2. No, that's not part of my strategy. Okay. It's all in God's hands now for you and me as well, friends. Also, taking a special reminder. Remember, we've been lighting the candle every day. Okay. We have Others BTC, which has surprisingly still told us that there are going to be signs of strength in the future. Also, this is the Bitcoin dominance as well. Yeah, we've never seen this before. The base case for most people who are bearish is that there's going to be a squeeze up. Bitcoin's going to destroy everything in the bear market again. Okay, that's what everybody believes. But, you know, I guess, look, I just showed you, it's very interesting. The market has not priced in lower rates. They've only priced in one rate cut. That is something big, okay? That's something big. Because that means if they even hint about more than one rate cut, that's good for liquidity. Don't forget who loves you, friends. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you in the next one.